This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Fatal hit and run. A woman is left for dead on the side of a Cape Breton highway.
Rodeo shelved. Infrastructure woes force organizers to buck the 2026 Nova Scotia Stampede.
And Goose call. Waterfowl hunters go head-to-head to prove who could be the best mimic of the sounds of geese.
Warmer temperatures, but wet and windy tonight and throughout the day on Tuesday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Cape Breton Regional Police are still searching for a vehicle involved in a fatal hit and run on Saturday.
It happened on the Louisbourg Highway in Albert Bridge, and as Kyle Moore reports, the victim's body wasn't found until the next day.
Traffic is flowing freely here on the Louisbourg Highway today, but it was closed for some time over the weekend as police investigated what they are calling a hit and run. It was on Sunday police closed this section of highway near Hills Road and Albert Bridge. A 23-year-old woman was found dead near the roadway. Police say it's not clear what she was doing or how she was hit. Staff Sergeant Darren Barrington says the call came into police at 11:50 a.m. Sunday morning, but police believe it happened sometime Saturday night.
It's very disturbing. People sometimes don't realize what they hit, or if they have realized what they hit and left the scene, they are probably scared, and best to come forth and report it.
Barrington says parts of a vehicle were found at the scene. There's currently no leads on a vehicle, but police say they are trying to determine a make and model from evidence left at the scene. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward, but for now they say their investigation is continuing. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Albert Bridge.
A big boost for the Spaceport in Canso. Ottawa announced Monday a $200 million 10-year agreement to lease a dedicated space launch pad operated by Maritime Launch Services.
Space is increasingly important in both a civilian and a military context, whether it is navigation, communication, intelligence, and surveillance. There's a growing need, and we really haven't had access to the market the way we would like, relying heavily on the Americans for space launch capacity.
The Canso agreement stipulates that Maritime Launch Services must have initial operational capability by the end of this year.
The owner of a Dartmouth-based company says federal funding will help him expand and meet growing demand for services as Ottawa increases spending in the defense sector. Valero Electronics manufactures and builds cables and harnesses for the aerospace and defense sectors. Today, the company got a repayable loan of $960,000 toward an expansion, which includes the creation of a new on-site training academy.
We put people with no experience, and we train them. We put them through a training school, the theory, the practical of how we build assemblies. So this is how we started the academy. My idea is I want to go to schools and off the reservations to actually hire more people of the community.
Greedy says he's expecting to boost his workforce of 60 by an additional 20 people in the coming months.
Well, the Boots and Broncos are staying in the stable this year. The Nova Scotia Stampede has shut down. Organizers say they're hitting the brakes to focus on much-needed repairs at the Rath Eastlink Community Centre. The decision leaving local vendors and a museum wondering what's next. Luke Ettinger reports.
The Nova Scotia Stampede has been put out to pasture for 2026. The board of the Central Nova Scotia Civic Centre Society announced the pause. The society hosts the Stampede and operates the Rath Eastlink Community Centre. In a statement, board chair Tim Johnson says the rec is currently facing a number of operational and infrastructure priorities that require focused attention, adding there is not enough capacity to do the rodeo event.
And Henry Ford donated that tractor to the AC.
The cancellation is a major disappointment to the Farm Equipment Museum at the Nova Scotia Exhibition Grounds.
Our visitor rate here was up over 200% just from all the activities taking place here. We were getting people from all over the Maritimes, Ontario. Like I keep saying, things were booming here.
With the uncertainty, a museum expansion is on hold. Vendors who bank on major events are also keeping a close eye on what happens.
I sell freeze-dried products and everything, fruits, candies, everything. And without the shows, I don't have a business. I need to, there's little bits that come in through other avenues like online, but shows are where you connect with your people.
Parker G&A says her company's sales at the Stampede weren't as high as expected, but had hoped the event would improve in its third year. Still, she plans to attend other events like the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition.
I need those shows to happen, and I know the customers, the public loves it. They love it. They have such a good time.
On the exhibition grounds, the Rustic Table, a restaurant operated by the Society, has also closed. That was one of the first decisions of the Society board, now composed entirely of municipal councillors. That group is looking to address issues inside the wreck, including a new ice plant, dehumidification unit in the pool, and an assessment of the 13-year-old building's condition. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Truro.
Wildfire season is officially underway in Nova Scotia. In the wake of last year's devastating Long Lake wildfire in Annapolis County that destroyed 20 homes, officials are encouraging people to take proactive steps to reduce wildfire risk. Brian Ord, the Annapolis Regional Emergency Management Association coordinator, says people can stay safe by taking simple fire-smart steps, such as cleaning leaves and debris around homes and using fire-resistant materials.
We've known for a while, over the last 10 years or more, that these new risks in our community are becoming more real. So we want everybody in our community to be more prepared, and the more we can do to bring that awareness about, the better.
Ord also encourages people to check their provincial burn map for restrictions.
And let's check in now on your weather forecast. Here's Ryan.
And we've got some rain on the way.
Yeah, much needed rain, of course, is still digging out for the whole deficit we were in from the drought last summer, of course. So it is good news that we've got some rain on the way. Wind as well. Wind warnings are in effect across the province. Gusts 70, 80, and 90 kilometers per hour with this system. And the rainfall warning in effect for the Tri-County area, the Atlantic coastline. This is where amounts are most likely to be in that 30 to 40 to 50, even 60 millimeter range along those southern parts of the province. Amounts will drop off 10 to 30 millimeters for northern areas. Looks like generally 20 to 30 or 40 millimeters for Cape Breton, but a little less for northern areas. Periods of rain tonight and throughout St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday, and it is going to be indeed wet and windy and mild as well, with temperatures that are going to be in the 10 to 15 range. Even the risk for a thunderstorm as well. Then we drop midweek. We'll talk about that coming up.
Lots to talk about. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, some parents in the Kingston area got a financial scare. They were told their daycare rate was set to rise significantly. But tonight, it looks like relief is on the way. Selena Alders reports.
Jen Boyder couldn't believe it when she learned her children's daycare fees would be going up significantly. She'll now pay an extra $320 per month for her 2 kids to attend Stepping Stone Preschool and Childcare Center.
It means less savings, less wiggle room if something goes wrong. So it's a pretty significant impact on our family. And I know from the reaction of others around when they're finding it, it's going to hurt a lot of families.
Stepping Stone was purchased in August, and its new owners received $2.5 million from the provincial government to expand its facility. But that money is for capital improvements, not daily operations.
We're sensitive to the fact that families are all trying to balance budgets, and it's difficult. Costs for everybody are going up, including us. Families are going to get a very different experience of childcare. And there's a higher cost associated with delivering that kind of childcare.
The education minister says the province remains committed to lowering daycare costs, despite falling behind on its goal to meet an average of $10 a day.
I want people to know that we have a meeting with them, and we're going to work with them through our operational support funding. Our rates have been frozen since 2021 for parents, and that's what we expect.
No other families were willing to go on the record for this story because they were worried they might risk losing their daycare spots, which, as we know, are hard to come by. But I did speak to a number of parents who are extremely frustrated with this price increase, and they're urging those in charge to reconsider. Selena Alders, CBC News, Kingston.
And late this afternoon, the Nova Scotia College of Early Childhood Education wrote parents to say the Houston government will provide additional funding, allowing the daycare to maintain its current fee structure.
A program that provides support to about 200 families a year has learned that their provincial grant has been cut. The Parent Support Program is run by the nonprofit Family Service of Support Association, known as Family SOS. The association's executive director says the program plays an important role for parents.
We work with over 200 clients a year, and if we can prevent 3 of those clients from going into care, then that's a cost saving for the government. That's over $300,000. We work all across the province, so we work in areas where there aren't a lot of health resources, where there aren't a lot of mental health resources, and we can provide parenting support for families.
The association says the contingency fund will keep the program alive for the remainder of the year.
This weekend, waterfowl hunters from the Maritimes flocked to the Halifax Exhibition Centre for the duck and goose call contest. Molly McNaughton was there.
It sounds as if there's a gaggle of geese inside the Halifax Exhibition Centre, but there's not a feather in sight. The honks are the work of hunters mimicking the sounds of their would-be prey. Waterfowl hunters are trying to bring back duck and goose calling competitions to the Maritimes.
It's great, it's camaraderie, it's learning from other guys, and it's really good for the sport and for young people, to bring young people back into it.
Hutt was the Maritime champion goose caller in 2006 and one of the judges this weekend. This is no loosey-goosey competition. The judges and dozens of spectators perk their ears as one by one hunters take 90 seconds to do their best goose impressions. Tim Wynot's been calling out to feathered fowl for almost a year now. He's taken to practicing from the bleachers during his son's football games.
I'd bring my goose calls to the football games and sit there and make a whole whacking noise, to the point where parents were just like, are we going to get geese landing down here? Because they're just like, what is going on? And you could always tell who the hunter was.
Goose calling became Wynot's calling after his friend took him goose hunting for the first time. But this is his first competition.
It's just trying something new, putting myself out there, and helping out other people in the hunting community just to make an event more successful.
This is the first contest we've had in quite some time here. It's been probably 9 years since there's been a contest in the Maritimes, so it's good to be back.
Matthew Wilson is a 15-time national duck and goose calling champion from Woodstock, New Brunswick. He even traveled to Arkansas for a world championship after winning a national event in Sussex back in 2013.
I just love the sport. I love waterfowl hunting, and this is an extension of it. You know, I get to see people here that are from around the Maritimes that I don't normally see, so it's all inside the realm of waterfowl hunting. So yeah, just love it. There's nothing like calling birds, so this is just another aspect of the sport that keeps us going in the off season.
Guys are getting into the calling aspect of it, and I think it is because of YouTube. You see people having fun and success out in the field, and obviously it's fun to call your birds.
Hutt is optimistic that with the success of this event, more hunters will flock back to the sport. Molly McNaughton, CBC News, Halifax.
Well, it was a good night for a pair of Nova Scotians at the Academy Awards.
Sure was. Dartmouth's Shane Vio and Tamara Deverell of Inverness won in the Best Production Design category. The duo was recognized for their work on Guillermo del Toro's adaptation of Frankenstein.
Speaking with the press after the ceremony, Deverell commented on the impact of cuts to arts grants tabled by the Houston government.
Arts are really important. I'm living in Nova Scotia right now, which is getting arts cuts by our provincial government, which is making it really difficult to support artists like me and Shane, who need to grow, young people who need to learn art is important. It's essential to our human culture and well-being.
It is the first win for Deverell and VO's second Oscar.
Traffic moving briskly around the Armdale Rotary. Ryan is up next with the full weather forecast.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, welcome back. Well, with all that rain in the forecast, my prediction is the Shamrocks are going to be sopping wet tomorrow.
Yes, folks waiting in line for St. Patrick's Day festivities might want to wear a poncho or something, right?
The diehards, they will be wet for sure. Dress in some rain gear as best you can if you are heading out. And indeed, a wet, windy St. Patrick's Day. That's the other thing. You can take an umbrella, but it's going to be carrying you over to the line over on the other side of the street. For sure. It's going to be windy. And, you know, with these winds, we will run the risk for a few isolated outages tomorrow. So make sure everything's charged and ready to go.
Good idea.
Let's have a look first at our webcam. And soggy look here. Thanks to Nova Scotia webcams in Lunenburg. And you can see, Yeah, not only rainy, but a bit of fog coming in there as well, and it will be foggy tonight and into tomorrow as well. There are those temperatures that have been rising this afternoon. 1 right now in Sydney, but it's 9 in Yarmouth and Shelburne and Kedzie and Greenwood, and those temperatures will continue to tick up overnight tonight. The winds have been picking up, sustained 20, 30, 40 kilometers per hour, even 50 at last check at Caribou Point, and we are looking at those gusts right now that are closing in on 70 kilometers per hour in a few spots along the Tri-County area and towards the Northumberland shore. And again, those wind warnings are in effect across all of Nova Scotia. That is where we're going to be seeing some gusts tonight in the 70 to 90 kilometer per hour range across the province. Most likely to hit 90 in those exposed areas and along parts of the coast. And then those rainfall warnings are in effect for the Tri-County area and along the Atlantic coastline. And we can see this first round of rain streaming in, and we've got more to come as we look at this system stretching all the way back down to the U.S. South, and this is going to be streaming up and across the province overnight and throughout the day tomorrow. High pressure coming in behind. This will drop our temperatures as the winds do shift to southwest. 4 degrees in Atlanta, Georgia. We're warmer here across the province than we are, and even towards the Florida Panhandle. We're warmer here than they are there. So that gives you a sense of the cold air that is charging in behind this system as winter says, not quite done yet. And as we look at the rainfall outlook one more time, note across the Northumberland shore, I think you folks are going to be pretty close to 10, maybe some 15 millimeter pockets. Locally will get a little heavier as we get into some of these heavier pulses and risk for some thunderstorms. It's down towards the Atlantic coastline. We're going to be in the 30 to 50, maybe 60, even 70 millimeter range. Can't rule that out in those heavier pockets of rain, most likely toward the south and west. And as I said earlier, I think Cape Breton, you folks will land probably in the 20 to 40 millimeter range, maybe a bit more locally, a little less for northern parts of the island. There's the rain that does stream through the first round tonight. Bit of a break as we move into the overnight where it's looking more like showers and drizzle. Look at the temperatures by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. 10, 11 degrees in Cape Breton. We're 10 to 15 degrees across the mainland. And then as we work our way throughout the day tomorrow, this is where we're looking at that heavier rain starting to track back in throughout the morning into the early afternoon. Those southerly winds are going to be gusting, as I said, 70, 80, and 90 kilometers per hour. So it is going to be quite windy with this system. So buckle up for that. And then on the back side of this system, a late day clearing. Amherst down through Yarmouth. Could even see some sunshine here by the end of the day tomorrow before the sun sets. The rain continues. And note those temperatures starting to drop here. And we'll pick up that part of the story in a moment. There are the temperatures for St. Patrick's Day. 11 to 15 degrees across Cape Breton, gusting to 90 for most of the island, but gusting to 120 for lace wet winds, where there's a lace wet wind warning in effect. And as we look at the forecast for Tuesday in central areas, 12 to 15 degrees here. Back into the west, anywhere from 8 to 15, even 16 degrees in through the Annapolis Valley will be cooler in those onshore winds. So note the timing with the wind shifting to southwest and then west through Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening. All the rain, what's left of the snow melt, and then, below freezing Wednesday morning. So things icy for sure. Black ice potential here big time for Wednesday morning. And we're remaining below the freezing mark throughout the day on Wednesday, or at least at the freezing mark. So things are going to be staying icy, although the sun this time of year will certainly help. Thursday, we're looking quieter, still staying below the freezing mark. Few flurries early Friday, and then, maybe another system Saturday. We'll keep you posted on that, Tom and Amy.
Oh, we'll want to know. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Well, a week-long student strike kicked off on Sunday afternoon here in Halifax. The strike includes students from Dalhousie University, King's College, Acadia University, and NASCAD.
Student unions across the province voted for the strike and are demanding cheaper tuition and university divestment from weapons manufacturers and companies that produce fossil fuels.
We will be striking today until March 21st.
I support the students in their demands. They want accessible education. They have a number of demands about how university money should be spent. And they're what makes a university work. The university is an educational institution, and student interest should be at the forefront of those institutions represent how they run and where their money goes.
Which was the first union of many to join the provincial student strike.
I mean, this is our first rally of the strike week. We're on strike from March 15th to the 21st. So we're gathering together to make our voices heard. We hope that this will advance the movement for our demands. Because the current state of things is like students can't afford to live and attend school, and we've been begging for divestment for years. So this is a show of power that hopefully elevates our demands.
Standardization, the abolition of differential fees for international students and out-of-province students, and the end to the federal cap on international students made possible by increased government funding.
That it's getting harder and harder for them to get an education and complete their degrees. And these struggles on top of reductions in grants that have just been announced in this most recent budget. Like I said, that's salt in the wound right now. Things are obviously unique and uniquely awful in terms of what's happening across the country. And so what I'm hoping as an outcome for these students is that the Premier, the provincial government, the MLAs are going to listen to them, sit down, hear what their concerns are. Our universities desperately need increased grants and increased funding and support.
Not for war!
Coming up, Nova Scotia MP Sean Fraser says a major investment from Ottawa will bring more opportunity for the aerospace and defense sector in the province. Ottawa unveiled major investments in space sovereignty Monday, including a 10-year, $200 million agreement to lease a dedicated space launch pad to serve as the central foundation for a multi-user spaceport near Canso, Nova Scotia. And for more on this, we're joined by Nova Scotia MP and Federal Cabinet Minister Sean Fraser. So first off, why is today's announcement important?
Well, look, this is a big deal both for Canada's defence and security, but also for the economic opportunities here in Nova Scotia. Space is increasingly important in both a civilian and a military context, whether it is navigation, communication, intelligence, and surveillance. There's a growing need, and we really haven't had access to the market the way we would like, relying heavily on the Americans for space launch capacity. What we're doing now is creating a sovereignty to that space launch capacity to ensure that we can meet our own needs and that we can create economic opportunities as part of the defence industrial strategy for Canadian workers along the way. A $200 million investment in rural Nova Scotia is going to go a long way, but importantly, it's going to help our part of the country make a contribution to something of national importance.
Well, when it comes to leasing this launch pad, is it going to be run by the government or by Maritime Launch?
It's going to be governed by the lease agreement with Maritime Launch Services. One of the things that's really exciting about this to me is this is not just the government handing over grant money. We're a customer. Part of the strategy behind our approach to this defence industrial strategy really is to ensure that we're supporting Canadian suppliers. We have an opportunity by building out our own space launch capacity at a launch pad at this facility to also create opportunities for Maritime Launch Services to attract further private investment to ensure they're meeting the needs not only of the Department of National Defence, but customers potentially from all around the world. We've got our allies, particularly with the NATO Starlift program, who are increasingly looking for alternatives to the American marketplace to meet their own domestic needs. So this investment by the federal government will be governed and operated by Maritime Launch Services, but it's going to enable both our domestic needs and potentially private sector opportunities to tap into this growing global market.
Well, what kind of facilities can we expect to see in Canso? And you touched briefly on the impact it could have in the broader area.
Certainly. So in Canso, you're going to see a commercial spaceport with a new launch pad being constructed as a result of this investment. There will no doubt be some additional infrastructure upgrades that are required as part of the program. Oftentimes, these kind of facilities require redundancy when it comes to fiber lines. Sometimes there are local roads that need to meet a certain standard for the trucking that's going to be coming in. But at its core, the $200 million that we are paying, again, as a customer to lease access to this space is going to largely go to the construction of this extraordinary project in rural Nova Scotia. There's some preliminary work has been done. I was speaking with the principal of Maritime Launch Services earlier this morning. They expect over the next week or so you're going to see more activity with the actual build out of this facility. But of course, with 90% of the investment that we're making being required under the agreement to be spent in Canada, we're going to see disproportionately local contractors win out when it comes to the economic opportunities associated with this phenomenal project.
Well, given our proximity to the United States, how much can we actually reduce our reliance on our neighbor for security?
Well, look, the best thing that you can do is create an outside option. In this case, an inside option. What we're doing is giving ourselves the ability to meet our own needs. Canada does have needs when it comes to launching satellites into space, low Earth orbit satellites in particular. And when our space assets may be at risk from foreign threats or potential disabling, we need to be able to quickly meet our own needs by addressing that through domestic launch capacity. When you're dealing with a supplier who has historically cornered the market as the only game in town, there's no competition. But what we're actually doing is not saying that we just want another competitor in the marketplace. We want first and foremost to be able to develop our own capacity. So we're not relying on our place in the lineup or the goodwill of a partner with whom we may have had an agreement, but suddenly makes Canada's needs subservient to the supplier's nationality. When we have the ability to have our own dedicated launch pad, we can control our own destiny. We can put Canadians to work in the process, but this is really about about making sure that we can control our own affairs and provide services to our allies who are like-minded at the same time.
Now, beyond this, what might an upgraded military look like on this side of the country? You know, would you see an expansion of the shipyard? Would you see larger bases or maybe even more of them?
Well, what's really exciting is we're starting to see it already. A lot of people don't appreciate this, but our economy has evolved immensely over the last number of years. And Atlantic Canada right now, despite being 6.5% of the country's population, is home to 20% of the aerospace and defense workforce. So as we roll out an $81 billion defense industrial strategy focused on creating opportunities for Canadian workers, the people who are already engaged in the industry stand to benefit disproportionately. Think about what we've seen over the last number of years in Atlantic Canada. NATO Diana, the defense accelerator for NATO allies, has chosen Halifax as its North American headquarters. Obviously, the work of the Irving shipyard, building our warships for the next generation, putting thousands of people to work in the process. IMP Aerospace, again, potentially thousands of people working in the maintenance of our aircraft. We see Cove being selected as the Defense Innovation Secure Hub for the East Coast. The Halifax International Security Forum is here in our province. What you're going to see is more and more opportunities to not only directly supply the Canadian military, but also to grow companies that are meeting the military's needs that have a civilian application. The extraordinary economic opportunity is not the kind of thing that we have commonly observed in Atlantic Canada, but with this ramp up in defense investment to protect our sovereignty, to protect our defense needs, we're going to see extraordinary economic opportunities as Maritime Launch Services is showing us the way today.
All right, Minister Fraser, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Coming up, Israel's military continues to target infrastructure associated with the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah.
And Prime Minister Mark Carney wraps up his trip to London, meeting with his British counterpart, Keir Starmer. Welcome back. The U.S.-Israeli war on Iran has entered its third week with no end in sight. The Israeli military says it carried out airstrikes in Tehran and other parts of the country.
And in Lebanon, it's stepping up operations to disarm Iran-backed Hezbollah militants. The CBC's Crystal Gabansing reports.
Israel's defense minister says Hezbollah, the Iranian proxy, will pay a heavy price for threatening communities in the north. Israel Katz announced ground operations that pushed deeper into the south of Lebanon. He said that those operations are focused on dismantling Hezbollah's infrastructure, and they will continue to operate in that zone in addition to conducting airstrikes in the south, as well as areas around the capital, Beirut. Now, people in the north are still living in those communities as Israel and Hezbollah exchange fire. The mayor for the Upper Galilee Regional Council says people in the region deserve to live in peace.
I hope that the government of Lebanese and the Israeli, with French government or another country, work together to achieve this goal. It's not something that Israel can do alone. But if we don't achieve it, we must operate in Lebanon and to build posts in Lebanon, in South Lebanon, and protect our people.
Israel's UN ambassador Danny Danon says talks may happen in the future, but right now they are focused on dismantling Hezbollah's infrastructure. Meanwhile, we continue to see Israel and the United States strike Iran. There were multiple airstrikes throughout Iran, including in the capital. It is not clear whether that strike was by Israel or the United States, but it is one that Iran's Red Crescent says hit a residential area. There were images coming out of Tehran of searches of the rubble as they tried to see if there were people who were trapped beneath. Israel says it will continue to attack regime-related targets for as long as necessary, adding they have thousands of possible targets. Crystal Gabansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.
The Strait of Hormuz remains blocked because of the war in the Middle East. Donald Trump is calling on other nations to help open the critical oil shipping route. So far, the U.S. president has not made a lot of headway. Katie Nicholson explains.
The U.S. president says help is on the way to bolster American efforts to secure the Strait of Hormuz, but he declined to say which countries were pitching in. Donald Trump was also critical of allies who have been cautious or outright resistant to getting pulled into a wider conflict in the Middle East.
Some are very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them from horrible outside sources, and they weren't that enthusiastic. And the level of enthusiasm, it matters to me. We have some countries where we have 45,000 soldiers, great soldiers, protecting them from harm's way. And we have done a great job. And when we want to know, do you have any minesweepers? Well, would rather not get involved, sir.
Trump resurfaced one of his often repeated concerns about NATO, that the U.S. will always be there for NATO, but NATO will not be there for the U.S. Among the NATO allies who have resisted getting pulled into this conflict, Germany, whose leaders today reiterated this is not their war and not NATO's war. Asked if NATO has an obligation to step up, this was former U.S. Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta's response.
Well, it's the United States' responsibility, very frankly, to be able to build alliances that will work with you if you intend to go to war. And the president, frankly, never laid that groundwork. He basically just went to war without looking at what a clear objective would be, without looking at a strategy for the kind of consequences that would result from war, and without considering an end game to the war. So in many ways, he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
Among the other sticking points, European nations have repeatedly expressed they don't know enough about what it is exactly the U.S. and Israel are trying to achieve in this conflict. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
Mark Carney is in London, where he met with his counterpart Keir Starmer and also King Charles. The two prime ministers didn't mention the conflict in the Middle East when they appeared at a joint press conference. But as Catherine Tunney reports, the men did discuss the war and the energy crisis it has caused.
Prime Minister Mark Carney sat down with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The face-to-face, their seventh, comes as US President Donald Trump puts pressure on NATO allies to help secure the Strait of Hormuz, with Trump warning it'll be very bad for NATO allies if he gets a negative response. Carney did not address those comments or even mention the war in Iran on camera today, although we are told by his office the issue of the Middle East was raised when the two men met for about 20 minutes behind closed doors. Now, publicly, the two pledged ongoing support for Ukraine and spoke positively about the relationship.
Happy birthday. Thank you. For today. I think the opportunity we've got to put together our values and our principles and apply them to a very volatile world.
It was about a year ago today, I've just been sworn in as Prime Minister and came here and we agreed to work closely on a number of international issues and also to tighten our bilateral ties in intelligence sharing, in trade across a whole host of areas, and that's exactly what's been happening, and it's a good thing that has happened because the world's become even more challenging.
Carney is also meeting King Charles today. Last week, the King met with Indigenous leaders who said that the King expressed concern about the Alberta separatist movement. Canada's new High Commissioner seemed pleased that the issue is top of the King's mind.
But I know that Chief Pete, for example, raised that concern with the King. And the King is, as our head of state, also always concerned about resiliency. But at the same time, that issue, I think, is more appropriately dealt with between our government and those First Nations. It is an internal matter, and I'm not unhappy that the King is concerned about the unity and strength of our country.
After the official leg of the trip wraps up, the Prime Minister is using the House of Commons break to take a vacation. When pressed on the timing of that break, given the war in the Middle East, he said he'll be in close contact with his staff. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, London.
The annual inflation rate slowed to 1.8% in February, a decrease from 2.3% in January. Statistics Canada released the numbers Monday, attributing the drop in the annual rate to the end of the federal tax holiday 12 months before. Restaurant meals benefited the most as that tax relief started to fall out of inflation calculations. Inflation in that category cooled to 7.8% in February. It was 12.3% in January. Inflation on food bought in stores cooled to 4.1% in February, down from 4.8% the previous month. A month-over-month decline in the prices of cellular services also helped drive the annual inflation rate down last month.
The Milano Cortina Winter Paralympics have officially come to a close. Team Canada finished with 15 medals. Overall, these games mark Canada's weakest Olympic and Paralympic showing in decades. Jennifer Yoon reports on the calls for more funding to support Canadian athletes.
As the Milano Cortina Paralympics come to a close, Canadians are celebrating some golden moments.
And there we go.
Like in wheelchair curling and in parabiathlon. While acknowledging these games haven't been the best for Canadians, finishing the Paralympics 8th in the medal standing, Canada's worst showing in decades. It's led Prime Minister Mark Carney to hint at plans to revamp funding for Canadian athletes over the next 6 months. He says he wants to catch up to the most successful nation in Winter Olympic history.
Right. We're going to be more like Norway in that year.
We really need to see what those details are.
But athletes are waiting to see what that will look like. Some advocating for athletes to get paid better.
We really need to see an increase in Sport Canada funding so that they don't have to go out and get second and third jobs.
There is just so many sports in parasport that rely so much on equipment.
Others, like this para runner, hoping some of that funding goes towards gear.
Having the top-of-the-line equipment that is going to get you there is so important.
All this comes days before a long-awaited report on the future of sport in Canada. A preliminary version of that report was scathing, calling Canada's sports system broken, rife with abuse, and national sports organizations working with diminishing budgets to try and meet increasing expectations. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
The 98th Academy Awards saw 2 films dominate, one battle after another, and Sinners captured the most Oscars. There were also multiple Canadian winners. Eli Glasner has the highlights from Los Angeles.
As they are literally tearing up the red carpet behind me, that is a wrap on the 98th Annual Academy Awards, where one battle after another battle its way to 6 Oscars, including some of the biggest Best Picture and Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson. Right behind it was Sinners with 4 Academy Awards and some very powerful and historic moments, including when the cinematographer became the first woman to win that award. It was also an amazing moment for Michael B. Jordan, beating out Ethan Hawke, Timothée Chalamet, and Leonardo DiCaprio to take home the award for Best Actor for his role playing twins in the movie Sinners, soaking it up on stage.
Yeah, mama, what's up? Y'all know how I feel about my mother and my father's here. Your pops, where you at?
And then enjoying himself at an In-N-Out with a burger just down the street. It was also a great evening for Canadians in multiple categories, beginning with K-pop Demon Hunters, the movie co-directed by Toronto's Maggie Kang, talking about what it meant to her and her culture.
And for those of you who look like me, I'm so sorry that it took us so long to see us in a movie like this. But it is here, and that means that the next generations don't have to go longing. This is for Korea and for Koreans everywhere.
Staying with animation, The Girl Who Cried Pearls is a movie set in Montreal and very much influenced by that city. The animators paid tribute to it in their acceptance speech.
Thank you, the fantastic city of Montreal.
And finally, Frankenstein, the adaptation of the Victorian novel by Mexican Guillermo del Toro, led to wins in multiple categories, with many Canadian artists in production design, hair, and makeup going home with Oscars. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Los Angeles.
Canada's main stock index gained more than 330 points today, helped by gains in the technology sector, while U.S. markets also rose. Here is a look at the numbers as we head to break.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, for those who are partaking, remember to wear green tomorrow. Remember to get that poncho on the ready.
Exactly, and maybe waterproof shamrocks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, perhaps a green poncho.
Yeah, sure.
It's definitely going to be wet as folks get into the festive mode tomorrow. Waiting in lineups, perhaps. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. Have a look at this weather picture.
Green.
Oh, we don't have
Nice
the weather
and green
picture. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll have to load the picture in tomorrow. Well, we've got some important info here. So there's the rainfall warning, indeed, green. Tri-County area and up the Atlantic coastline, that is indeed where we have the rainfall warning in effect. And we are looking at the wind warning that's in effect across the province for tomorrow. We're talking about gusts in the 70, 80, and 90 kilometer per hour range. So it is really going to be howling. That's borderline outage worthy, so make sure things are charged up and ready to go. And there is a lace wet wind warning in effect as well. That's an orange alert level. That is for gusts to 120 kilometers per hour for you folks and there it is there, the orange alert, lace to wet wind warning for you folks there. 120, that's
pretty good.
Pretty good for sure. Weather systems, as we look at the system that is coming in, and there's that southerly wind that is going to be howling, and that system on the back side of it is the much cooler air. So we go from the wet, windy warm up with all that rain to freeze up. And so this is what we're looking at in terms of those totals. I think generally around 30 to 50 millimeters along the southern parts of the province and 10 to 30 millimeters for northern areas of the province. But as those temperatures do drop Tuesday night into Wednesday, we are going to be looking at those things really kind of freezing up and the potential for some black ice setting up for early Wednesday morning. Some tricky travel conditions, I'm suspecting. 10 to 15, even 16 degrees for tomorrow across the province. Note as we move into the afternoon, that system starts to move out. We'll see some gradual clearing in the west into the afternoon. Everywhere else through tomorrow evening.
Get ready. All right, Mexico City has smashed the Guinness World Record for largest soccer class. That's big, all right. Thousands gathering at the main square on Sunday for class.
In fact, they shattered the old record. More than 9,500 people took the class. The old record was set in Seattle last year with just over 1,000 taking part.
Mexico hosts the opening match of the FIFA World Cup when it kicks off on June 11th.
Impressive for sure. That is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.